The news was stunning this week. United Technologies will split into 3 companies. So if you work there, you're concerned. And if you don't, well, how does it affect you? With us today, Greg Bordonaro of the Hartford Business Journal. And Greg, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So in a nutshell, what exactly is happening and what are the 3 companies?
So there were two big news out of UTC this week. First, they finalized their deal to acquire Rockwell Collins, which is an Iowa-based aero parts maker. They bought them for $30 billion. And on the same day of closing that deal, they announced they're going to split up into 3 separate companies. So they're going to be 3 separate publicly traded companies. You're going to have an aerospace company led by Pratt & Whitney and the new Rockwell Collins company. You're going to have Otis Elevator. They're going to be a separate company. And then you're going to have Carrier Corp, which makes HVAC equipment. So you're going to have 3 separate publicly traded companies. UTC is essentially breaking apart.
Where will these headquarters be? That's the big question
right now,
people are wondering.
Obviously, UTC is based in Farmington. UTC employs 18,000 people in Connecticut. Otis right now is based in Farmington, as is Carrier. Pratt & Whitney is based in East Hartford. We don't know where the headquarters are going to be. It's a big question going into sort of the next 2 years. This is going to be an 18 to 24-month process, so it's not going to happen overnight. My thinking is that Pratt & Whitney will stay in East Hartford. If you remember back in 2014, Governor Malloy did a $400 million incentive deal to keep Pratt & Whitney in East Hartford for 15 years. They just built a new corporate headquarters. So I think we're safe with Pratt & Whitney. However, Otis and Carrier, they could go anywhere. So it's going to be a test for Governor-elect Ned Lamont to try to secure them.
In terms of jobs, we don't really know the impact yet?
No, we don't know the impact yet. Like I said, they employ 18,000 people in Connecticut. They're a huge employer. Not only the people they employ directly, but there's a lot of subcontractors who depend on UTC and their various subsidiaries.
What's the impact on the people who don't work at these companies? There's some fear, perhaps, if one of them should leave, correct?
Yeah, it's Connecticut's economy. There are 18,000 employees. They're a huge driver of the economy. If one of these businesses do move their corporate headquarters, it will hurt Connecticut.
Let's talk a little bit about this CVS-Aetna marriage, which became official.
Yep.
Just this past week. What are we going to see in terms of fallout here in Connecticut?
Yeah, so Aetna is going to keep its headquarters here in Hartford. CVS has promised to keep Aetna here for at least 10 years. They've also promised to keep the current employee base here for the next 4 years. So right away, I think this is a net plus for Connecticut and Hartford. Just remember, it was a year ago where Mark Bordonaro, who is now the former CEO of Aetna, he was ready to move Aetna to the headquarters to New York City. So CVS Health said they like Hartford. They view us as sort of an insured center of excellence, and they're committed to here for at least the short to mid-range. So I think so far it's a good deal for Hartford.
And Larry Merlo, who ran CVS, will he be moving to Hartford?
No, CVS is still based in Rhode Island. They're going to stay in Rhode Island,
But he's going to be the new boss.
He's going to be the new boss.
Yeah.
The new head of Aetna is Karen Lynch. Aetna is still going to operate as a standalone company, so they're going to keep their brand, and they're going to be able to operate sort of on their own still.
So will people who go to their CVS to get the prescriptions, will they see any difference at all?
I don't. Right away in Connecticut, no. However, in 2019, Aetna and CVS are going to start to roll out new sort of stores that are going to be more like doctor's offices than regular storefronts. You're going to see nurse practitioners in there. You're going to see pharmacists playing more of a consultant role. And it's almost going to act like a primary care doctor. They're not replacing primary care doctors, but they're going to offer sort of another access point for patients.
What does Governor-elect Lamont need to do with this new company to make sure that they stay beyond 10 years?
He's got to, Governor-elect Lamont has promised that he's going to sort of engage the business community. He's been doing that for the last few weeks. He's been meeting with a lot of CEOs. In fact, he was in our office yesterday, and he said he wants to go meet the new CEO of Aetna. So, he's got to have a door open to them and, listen to their concerns and sort of listen to them and also act on them as well.
As a businessman, do you think he's going to have a better relationship with the CEOs of our state than Governor Malloy has had?
I think Governor Malloy made an attempt to sort of engage the business community. Whether or not he was successful, in some ways yes, some ways no. I think he does. His personality is a little bit more affable, so I think that'll help. And he does have that entrepreneurial perspective that may resonate with some of the business leaders here.
Are there any duplicate positions, perhaps in CVS and Aetna, where you might see some jobs lost here?
So as part of this deal, they're promising to eliminate about $750 million in expenses. So there will be some overlap, but like I said, CVS has promised to keep 5,300 employees in Hartford for the next 4 years. So I don't think you're going to see a huge amount of layoffs in Hartford.
Overall, you've covered a lot of business at HBJ. Which
Yep.
direction is the state going in terms of attracting business? Infosys is moving here.
Yep.
Is it going in the right direction, you think?
I think it's a sort of a wait and see approach. It's, Connecticut has experienced slow to no growth over the last 8 years. Businesses are still concerned about the climate here and how the budget issue is going to be solved. Is there some optimism? Yes, in some circles. Advanced manufacturing, some industries are having a sort of a rebirth. But there's a wait and see approach. People want to see how this budget issue is going to be sort of determined in the next year or two.
And the impact of Infosys will also be significant.
Yeah, Infosys is it's a big win for Hartford. They're promising to bring 1,000 jobs here. Actually, they're having an unveiling of their new downtown Hartford headquarters this next week. So there's a lot of hope that they're going to be sort of a spur, and they're going to have to attract tech talent, which Hartford is in need of.
Good enough. Greg Bordonaro from the Hartford Business Journal, and in just a couple of weeks, we'll be seeing the book of lists come out.
Yep.
Any sneak peek tonight?
We'll show you a little bit later.
I know you can't say too much. All right. It's all confidential. Thanks, Greg. It is the holiday shopping season, and we have some great film from our archives. Back from 1957 from downtown Hartford, when people were out there shopping downtown. If you know what this robot's all about, please let me know. Have a great Sunday, everybody.